Welcome back to the River Valley Redneck. Today I'm going to be talking about Liberty Safes. I didn't do a video when this first haul happened because I wanted to kind of wait and see what kind of response they were going to give, if they were going to change anything or do anything. And I figured since this has to do with gun safes and protecting your firearms and keeping them locked up and safe from everybody, including the FBI, I figured, it's a worthwhile video. I have a gun safe of my own that I keep my guns locked up in, but it's not a Liberty safe. And it's a good safe, but it's a cheaper brand. But they do stand behind their product, and they won't give a cheat code or anything like that in order to open it up unless they have a warrant given directly to them for them. This happened in my home state, and it all has to do with the January 6th stuff that went on at the Capitol. They went after a guy in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and they arrested him at his business. And they went to his house. They had a warrant to go into his house. I'm not exactly sure if the warrant said go into the safe or anything like that. I just know they had a warrant for the house. Well, there was a safe in there from Liberty Safes. They called Liberty Safes and said, hey, we have a warrant to search this guy's place. We need the code to get in. Well, Liberty Safe just said, okay, here. They gave him a code. They got in. I don't feel comfortable about that because, number one, Liberty doesn't own that safe anymore. Once they sell that safe to me or you or anybody else, they don't own that thing. They shouldn't have any right at all to give any kind of combination to anybody but the owner if they misplaced their combination. So I'm in total disagreement with Liberty Safe on that one. They should not have kowtowed over to them and said, okay, here you go. Even if a safe company gets a thing from the FBI search warrant saying, hey, you need to give us this combination, I don't think anybody should, because they don't own it. And once you give ownership up of it, it's not theirs to give. But Liberty Safe came out and finally changed their policies, at least, to be as stringent or better than some of the other safe companies out there. This is from their website. Liberty Safe will only release customer information to law enforcement agencies if all the following conditions are met. Number one, a warrant, subpoena, national security letter, court order, or equivalent must be provided that is specifically issued to Liberty Safe. For requests for access codes or combinations, the compulsory process must specifically require that Liberty Safe release the combination or access code for a safe identified by its serial number. If the first two conditions are met, the requested customer information must already exist within our system at the time of the request. If a customer has opted out of our retention of this information, we will be unable to comply with the compulsory process. So, bravo for them for stepping up and doing something about what they did before. They shouldn't have ever released the combination the first time around. But I am glad to hear from them saying that they will change their process. Now, they have a process in place to where when you buy a safe, you can opt out, but you have to opt out of them keeping your information on file. So if you do decide to buy a Liberty Safe, be sure to go in there and opt out to where they will not have the information needed to get into your safe. But that also puts a lot on you to make sure you don't get rid of the information yourself or forget the information. So be sure to take care of that, because it could save you in the long run. And they also have a website, a link on their website, to where you can go in there and have them delete your information if you already do own a safe. And that way, if, God forbid, the time comes and they want to come looking in your stuff, you've opted out and you've had them delete it, they can no longer provide it. So be sure to take care of that too if you already own a safe. And I understand all of the people getting upset about the fiasco that went on with it and wanting to sell their safes and everything. But now that they've stepped up and they've done this, if you go in and opt out and have them delete everything, you're looking a lot better off, and at least they've done something. So be sure to do that. And also, another thing that I would highly suggest is, if you have a Liberty safe, get rid of the VIN number on it. Get rid of that identification number. Keep it on record somewhere that you know about, but don't have it anywhere on that safe or anywhere that can be found. That way they don't have a number to call them up and say, hey, this is the number, and if we have the serial number, you need to give us the number. Get rid of the serial number. If they don't have a serial number, they can't do anything about it. So it's a good idea, if you're going to buy a safe, Liberty or any other safe, to check with the company and see what their protocols are. See what they will or will not share. Because if they're willing to share Free Willy, look somewhere else. You don't need that kind of safe. There's a lot better options out there to protect your valuables. And that's one of the things that I highly suggest, is looking into their policies. Make sure that their policies fall in line with what you believe. And I'm not sure what's going to happen with this January 6th thing with this guy up in Fayetteville, but I really hope it works out the best for him, because that wasn't an insurrection. I don't care what anybody says. These guys didn't go storming into the Capitol with guns. None of it. This is all just a witch hunt, and nobody should be prosecuted under this. They were giving guided tours throughout this thing, opening doors for the people to walk in and check things out. That does not sound like an insurrection to me. But, back to it. Be sure to look into your safe's policies. Make sure what they're willing to give and what they're not going to give. And think about that before you do purchase a safe from anybody. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this a video, and we will see you on the flip side.